I'm Leah from Jersey Drinks, here with my friends at ShopRite, and we're ready to help you fall in love with seasonal flavors because nothing screams sweater weather quite like pumpkin spice. Today, we're going to show you how to make your very own homemade DIY pumpkin spice syrup with less than 5 ingredients. You can find everything you need at your local ShopRite. So, what's on our shopping list? We're going to be grabbing Bowl & Basket's dark brown sugar, pumpkin pie spice, and a can of pumpkin puree. Just be sure you're not grabbing pumpkin pie puree. We're gonna just want straight pumpkin puree for this one. So first we're going to take half a cup of our Bowl & Basket brown sugar and add this right into the pot. Next, we're gonna be adding half a cup of pumpkin puree, followed by 1.5 cups of water. Last but not least, our key ingredient, 1 tablespoon of Bowl & Basket pumpkin pie spice. We're gonna stir to combine all of our ingredients, and then you're gonna go ahead and set this down on your stove over very low heat, making sure to not boil or burn your mixture and continuing to stir until all your sugars and spices have dissolved. Once the mixture has cooled down, we're gonna wanna store this in an airtight container. Don't worry, it's gonna be a little bit on the thicker side due to that nice, delicious pumpkin puree. We're gonna store this for up to 3 weeks, but I have a feeling it's not gonna last you that long. And now that we have our homemade pumpkin spice syrup, we're gonna show you how to make a variety of seasonal cocktails and mocktails. To start, we're gonna show you how to make the cult classic pumpkin spice latte. We're gonna be going with an iced version using Bowl & Basket's cold brew. We're gonna start with 1 ounce of our pumpkin spice syrup, add that right to the bottom of your glass. The beauty of making cocktails at home is you can make this as sweet or not sweet as you like. Next, we're gonna grab our Bowl & Basket cold brew, fill your glass. We're gonna go about halfway. Next, we're gonna be adding a handful of ice. And of course, to top off our latte, a little bit of milk. You can use your favorite dairy milk, nut milk, whatever you prefer. Set that aside and give this a nice stir. You can skip the line at your local coffee shop and enjoy your own pumpkin spice latte right at home. All right, next up, we're gonna be showing you how to use that pumpkin spice syrup and a seasonal twist on a cult favorite, a margarita. We're gonna be starting with 3/4 of an ounce of our homemade pumpkin spice syrup. Next, we're gonna be juicing a fresh lime. Fresh is always best when it comes to making cocktails, especially when the citrus is the key ingredient in your recipe. We're gonna be using 1 whole lime to get us that 1 full ounce of fresh lime juice for our margarita. Adding that right into our shaker with our 1/4 ounce of fresh homemade pumpkin spice syrup. And what's a margarita without tequila? We're gonna be adding 1.5 ounces of a Blanco or an unaged tequila right into our shaker. Next, we're gonna be adding some ice to start chilling down our glass, as well as a handful of ice into our cocktail shaker. 1 handful of ice, and we're gonna pop the lid and shake up our margarita. Once your shaker is nice and cold, we can pop that top and pour this over that fresh ice right into our margarita glass. And no cocktail is complete without its final accessory, your cocktail garnish. We're just gonna go ahead, grab that fresh lime, cut yourself a nice, thick, fresh wheel, place a little slit on the side, and we could go ahead, place that right on your glass. And here we have our 3-ingredient pumpkin spice margarita. Cheers. And now we'll be making our next drink, which is a seasonal variation on the classic old fashioned using that pumpkin spice syrup and only 2 other ingredients. 1/2 ounce of our pumpkin spice syrup into the bottom of a shaker tin. This time we're actually gonna be stirring our cocktail, but you can absolutely use the base of your cocktail shaker to build this drink. Next up, we're gonna be adding a couple dashes of ginger bitters. I'm having a little bit of fun with bitters. They're like the salt and pepper shaker of your bar cabinet, but you can absolutely use classic aromatic or orange bitters. We're gonna be adding 3 dashes. The ginger works really nicely to kind of bring out those seasonal flavors of the pumpkin spice syrup. Last but not least, we're gonna be adding 2 ounces of whiskey right into our shaker tin. All right, and now we're gonna add some ice to our glass. as well as a little bit of ice into our shaker. Go ahead and give this a nice stir. And we're gonna go ahead and strain this out. And here we have all 3 of our delicious fall seasonal pumpkin spice cocktails made using that homemade pumpkin spice syrup with all of our ingredients from Bowl & Basket. Be sure to like and follow for more.